Time to round up another big story from the week, and this week Pope Francis continued his shakeup of the Catholic Church. He announced women who are sorry for having an abortion can seek forgiveness from all priests during the Church's upcoming year of mercy. It's a big change that's causing a stir among rank-and-file Catholics, and while many American churchgoers seem to support the move, others say it goes too far. Pope Francis's latest announcement is our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter by using the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel again, led by our legal analyst Chris Tritico, our news analyst Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. Good morning again.
Good morning.
What do you think about the Pope's statements?
You know, ever since this Pope took office, he's been really making some very progressive statements on behalf of the church. One of the first things he said when asked about homosexuality, he said, if a gay person, I'm paraphrasing, if a gay person is seeking Christ, who am I to judge? Which was a huge change for the Catholic Church, and he's been making these types of progressive changes ever since he took office. And so this change in church teaching is not really a big change, to be honest with you. The bishops already had the authority to grant absolution for this. And in the United States, most bishops had already given it to the priest to do. So it's not a huge change for the church because he hasn't changed the church's position on abortion. He's just saying if you're seeking absolution, you can have it. I think it's personally, as a Catholic, I think it's a positive change for the church, and it's a positive thing for Christianity, Jackie Bally, for this Pope to say, let's open the church up to everyone.
And I think one thing is that we're only hearing bits and pieces of what he actually said. The Pope has said many things. He said, don't judge people by certain things. Speak their language. Teach love. You can find Jesus Christ in everyone. So he's not just saying, oh, forgive them. He's saying, counsel them, help them find Christ, help them find Jesus within themselves. He's also saying, help them realize what they did is a sin as they move forward in their lives. So he's not just saying, oh, we're going to just let everybody in, end of story. He's saying, let's teach them how to be better Christians.
And that's what you would expect, I would think, from the leader of the biggest church in the world.
Well, I think what's happening to him, though, you're only hearing bits and pieces,
right,
and people aren't understanding. The full message is, let's help people be better and help them to receive Christ and the Word of Christ.
As with his statement about gays, this statement about people who have abortions is going to cause a stir among some very conservative individuals.
It may. It's likely to, but you know, the same thing we talked about climate change. He went back into the faith tradition to say why we have to protect the planet. In this, as Jackie said, he didn't make it for people can go out and have abortion, but he said that if they did, that there should be a room for them in the church for forgiveness. And I think forgiveness is a thing that is lacking in our society in many fronts, and we saw that after the shooting in North Carolina, where the victims came forward and forgave the assailant, and what that kind of ripple effect it had in our society. So I think the pontiff is doing the things that are not just in this particular issue, but he's teaching that we all have to be better at forgiving each other. And creating a bigger tent rather than the harshness that we use on each other.
But it's more than forgiveness. He's also saying help them see Christ within themselves and how to be better and realize what they did was wrong. He is making that statement.
Sure.
So he's not dismissing and saying that they are not sinners. He's saying help them be better and stronger with Christ.
And has reaffirmed the church's position on abortion at the same time. Let's go to social media.
Okay, we'll take a look first at a couple of tweets coming in. Ginger says, I do not agree with this liberal Pope on abortion forgiveness. This will only encourage this practice even more. And then Tucker says, is abortion something that needs to be forgiven? No. Do I think Pope Francis did the right thing in changing rhetoric? He says, yes.
Well, and both of those tweets, I think, identify exactly what we're talking about here, that there's going to be people that are always upset with any decisions that's made by a leader. And when a Pope comes in and starts changing church doctrine, that's always going to upset somebody, just like that first tweet.
But again, I think it's
She called him a liberal pope.
I think, again, all she's hearing is the Pope said to forgive these people. That's all that we're seeing in the media. That's all we're seeing being played out. She's not hearing, or she may not be hearing, I don't know what she's listening to. She may not be hearing that he's saying, pray for these people.
Right.
Help these people. Help them grow.
Help them be better
Help
people.
them be better people. And I think if the full message is actually out there, as a Christian, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to pray for people. We're supposed to help them be better and stronger with Christ.
Why is it liberal to seek change, to make change?
I think the bigger part is this, that there is a harshness that we've developed in our culture, that we don't try to understand other people's position, that we rather attack them than to walk in their footsteps from a faith tradition. And the Pontiff's changing that. I tell you, look, I mean, he put out a very detailed document on the climate change. And the reason why I bring that up is, you know, that was hundreds of pages of very detailed, specific stuff going into church doctrine and explaining to people that. And Jackie's right, sometimes people don't don't read everything, but he's very clear. He's leading the church and the world in a direction where they were talking about forgiveness, and we were talking about lessening the rhetoric that's polluted our environment.
And you've seen this before. John Paul II went to the prison and forgave the person who shot him.
Right, right. And as a person who's strong in his faith, that's exactly what we would expect that person to do. To forgive people, to pray for them, help them be better Christians. And his full message is stating that. Let's forgive people for their sins. Let's help them move on. Let's help them be stronger within Christ.